How do we recognize when the ego is at work? Here are some questions you can ask yourself that will help you when a strong emotion comes up that you feel the need to react to. Number 1, do I feel a need to defend myself right now? This is the ego. The ego is rooted in our evolutionary drive for survival and self-preservation. With this recognition, tap into your higher self and ask yourself, what is the insecurity I feel the need to defend right now? Typically when we're having arguments and we feel a strong emotional response, it's related to the ego's need for survival. Even in arguments where it's no longer life and death, we still feel the need to defend ourselves based off of how we have evolved. The second question you want to ask yourself, am I thinking about things of the past or just the current moment that's in front of me right now? Oftentimes the ego relates to the past moments that are shaping your current moment. So we view everything that's happening right now in front of us through a lens of past experiences, which really blur the present moment. So when this is happening, you want to ask yourself, am I observing just what is happening in front of me right now, or am I linking what is happening in front of me right now to moments of the past that it reminds me of? Number 3, do I feel the need to do any particular thing right now? Do I want to do this thing because I feel like I have to do this thing? So the ego oftentimes attaches itself to specific values and a specific identity. And if that identity involves being super productive all the time, you might find it very impossible to wind down, relax. It could also be the opposite end of the spectrum, where if your ego has identified with being the person who's very chill, laid back, type B, and you hide behind that sort of identity, you might not push yourself to try new things and push yourself to set higher goals for yourself and accomplish more. So either end of this spectrum can be a negative thing in excess. So you want to ask yourself, am I doing something because I want to do this for a specific intention, or am I doing this thing to satisfy my ego's identity? So a good way to challenge this and to clarify why you're doing certain things is to ask yourself, what are my intentions? Why am I doing what I'm doing? So these are just a few ways to identify your ego at work and how to combat that ego's pattern of behavior. And in doing so, tapping into a higher level of awareness, emotional regulation, and self-control.